Hi guys, welcome back to Lesbian in Her Feelings. I am Sierra, the host. I know it's been a while, don't come for me. I've had a lot of things going on. Today we're kind of gonna tap into missing people, missing relationships, friendships with people, and basically just, we're not really missing them. We're just missing the person that we kind of invented into our head, right? Missing someone and missing the fantasy are not the same thing. I feel like a lot of us, we create like an image of what we want somebody to be or like a fantasy life that we're expecting to live with the person. And most of the time, it doesn't play out how we are expecting it to. So, if you honestly think about it, we are missing that part that we have in our head. When we think about the actual person and we actually separate the two, what are we actually missing? Is it the person or is it what we created in our head? The expectations that we had of the person, who we wanted them to be. A lot of the times, our brains edit out the bad memories of a connection with somebody, which makes it very easy to just think about the good in the situation, the good in the person, because we don't want to think about the bad things. The bad things make us hurt more, they make us feel more pain. And most of the time, we want to ignore that. We just want to think about the good that comes in the scenario because the good made us feel good. So our brain is just going to result into just wanting that and blocking out the negativity. Loneliness can definitely make a relationship seem better than what it was. When we're lonely, we crave that affection and that attention from the one person that we adored, from the one person that we loved. Like I said before, like when you're lonely, it puts your brain into like a state of, again, thinking of all the good memories and not replaying the bad ones. As humans, we just want connection. We want physical touch. We want somebody to tell us that we're pretty. We want people to tell us that they love us. Sometimes we even crave the validation. So when you're lonely, you don't really think about the bad in the situation or the bad with a person. When we're feeling very lonely, we feel alone. And that can also result to not being capable of sitting in your own discomfort and being alone, which I can also relate to. So it can definitely make a situation feel like it's not worser than it is. When you don't know how to be alone, it's just like it's easier for you to be more accepting of certain situations and people. And until you can feel comfortable with being alone and like breaking that cycle or that pattern, then you're not going to be able to see like the red flags. You're only going to be able to replay the good things with somebody else and not the bad. There has to be that disconnect. And in these moments, we are grieving everything. We grieve the imagined futures that we set in our heart to want with this specific person. Example, like the trips that we planned, the trips that we didn't get to go on, all these things that you wanted to do with this person you never got to do. And you want to. So you sit and you think about it, about all the things that you guys couldn't do and you want to do. And it's just like, okay, well, maybe we still can. It's like I said in the beginning, you're replaying all the good memories, all the things that you wanted to do. Maybe you guys wanted to buy a house. Maybe you guys wanted to live together. Maybe you guys talked about kids. Maybe you talked about marriage. You guys speak on these things and it's a reoccurrence. a reoccurring topic, it replays in your head over and over and over again. Like you're really expecting this from this person. This is what you're wanting. This is what you're craving. This is what you guys talk about. And when you separate, it's still all ever that you think about because it's supposed to be your person. So when that happens, how can you think about the bad? I feel like in the beginning, it hurts, it's painful. And you, like I said, you try as much as you can to block it out. After breaking up or separating, the red flags just become invisible. You forget the anxiety you had, you forget the inconsistency that was in the relationship, you forget the crying every night. Because what you're really crying about when you guys do separate is like not having them there anymore. What am I going to do? I thought we were going to be together. I wanted to make it work. Again, those good memories, the good mornings, the laughs, the chemistry that you guys did share outside of all the bad things. The bad things don't seem so bad when you might feel like they are small things compared to the good things that have been done. But we have to think about the repeated cycle when it comes to the red flags and the toxicity because it adds up. These are probably things that you've argued about, things that you did not like, but you probably settled for. It's like you had a voice for these things. There was a concern, but you let it slide. You let it pass because this is your person. The good moments, they just replay over and over and over and over again in your head. When you feel good, you forget anything that they've done. The goodness just overpowers you. You just forget everything else. The only time we actually see the wrongdoings in a relationship is when we've been apart from somebody for a while and we actually start doing the healing is when we can actually see how bad it really was because we're away from them, we're not talking to them, and we have a clear mind. We're not overpowered by the goodness anymore. We're not being blinded. So now you have to ask yourself the hard questions. Do you miss them or do you miss who they could have potentially been in your eyes? If they were to be in front of you today, knock on your door, call you, or text you, would you respond? Would you take them back? What if they were the same person that they were before? Healing is accepting reality, accepting things for what they are, accepting people for who they are. How do we accept reality? Sometimes it takes just having that last straw with a person or a situation. It takes something to free your mind, your soul, your spirit to want to be relieved from the situation. The reality that you have in your head, the scenario that you have in your head has to be broken. You have to get tired of the reality that you have made. You'll start craving a different reality and have a different picture of how you want your life to be. And the situation that you are in, you will no longer crave or want to be in. And that's when healing becomes. Healing is saying, I no longer want this for myself. I no longer accept this for myself. I deserve real peace, real love, respect, consistency. I do not deserve the highs and the lows. When you are having a hard time with being alone and you're feeling lonely and you feel like you want to turn to this person, just remember that it's okay to miss them. It's okay to miss them and grieve the situation, but that doesn't mean that you should be with them. Allow yourself to sit in that discomfort and grieve it and miss them, miss the connection, miss how they made you feel at certain times. But also really try to sit back and think about how they treated you. It's so easy to think about the good times and the good things and what we miss and crave. But if you have the strength or the mindset to actually just think about, like, okay, wait a minute, what got us here? Why am I really feeling like this? Why did we end? Were we really happy? Was I really happy? So I close out and say, it's okay to miss them. It's okay to want them. Again, it's okay to miss their touch or certain things about them, their smile, their smell. It's okay to reminisce, but that's all a process of healing. And I promise you, once you look at things for what they are, you have that space from the situation. You will see things in a new light. You'll be able to see clearly. And every day it will be less and less and less painful, less of less of a memory, more clear thought, free mind. Thank you for listening to A Lesbian and Her Feelings. Make sure that you guys tune in every Sunday. I do a new episode every week. Make sure to follow me on all my social media so that way you guys can stay updated.